what's up, everyone? Welcome in. This is YenYorkCity, and tonight, guys, look at, I'm even dressed for the part tonight.
She looks like a goddess.
I'm the divine goddess of love, and I hope to send you guys all the love tonight. And yeah, tonight is really special because it's not only, the week of Valentine's Day, but we have somebody really lovely, really beautiful, and I can't wait to share her with you. It's the first harpist we've ever had on the podcast. So it's perfect. It's perfect because, we're always rocking out with drummers, and like yesterday you guys saw it was Vandal that was on, and he was really rocking out with his punk rock style and his, drums. But tonight we have something a little different, a harpist, and she comes all the way from Chicago, the Windy City, Chicago, Windy Harper. So we're gonna have fun tonight. We're gonna get those Zen vibes with her too. I love me some Zen vibes, some harp style music seems like perfect, angelic, and just heavenly, and romantic. The harp is very romantic, it's very beautiful, soothing. So whether you have someone special or you're just relaxing by yourself, you're still gonna enjoy a harpist playing. And tonight, it's gonna be a good one. So I hope you guys are coming in and hyping it up for Windy in chat. And of course, you guys know I have my co-host Luna Satori with me tonight. And yeah, so it's gonna be so fun. And let's see who's coming in. There she goes. Everyone follow Windy. There she goes, Windy Harper. Hey Tunic, I see Tunic is in here making money. I think I saw someone else from her community come in.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Raina, who was on the podcast yesterday, and it's gonna be a different night tonight. So definitely check out Raina Vandal. He was on the podcast yesterday, and that was a lot of fun. All right, guys. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring out our lovely guest all the way from Chicago, Windy City, Chicago. It's Windy Harper. Are you ready for me, Windy?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Let's bring on Windy Harper. And there she goes.
All right, I'm going to start off with Corridors of Time from Chrono Trigger.
Sweet. You get real claps.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful.
Thank you.
Windy Harper! How are you? Thanks so much for being here.
I'm well, and now I can actually see you. Your dress is amazing.
So it's funny because for the podcast on in October, I had ordered like a Wednesday costume because, ironically,
from the Addams Family.
From the Addams Family, and it didn't come on time, so I went to get another costume, and there was nothing available that was Wednesday or anything. And then I was like, well, what can I get just in case like it comes, and then I can wear something else. And then this was like a divine love goddess type thing. And then when I got home, it was like waiting there. And I was like, oh, so I guess I am going to go with the Addams Family theme. And then the guy that we had was Progcraft, and his name is Adam. So it went perfectly.
Oh.
Yeah. But
did you call yourself Yensday instead of
That would have
Wednesday?
been perfect. Where were you, Wendy? I needed you in my life, but now you're in my life. So it's.
I'm here for all your puns, all your future puns.
Yes.
You just come to me.
See, it's a connection. We just made one. Yes. So, Wendy, you're from Chicago?
Not originally, but I've lived here for like 13 years, so it's home.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's more home than anything else, anywhere else I've lived. So.
Yeah, because we were talking a little bit before the podcast, because you know how we get to know our guests a little bit and like set up, and I didn't know that Windy is because you're from the Windy City, because you're from Chicago.
My name is not Windy Harper. My real name is not Windy Harper. I'll just throw that
Can the
out there.
real Windy please stand up? Because
But there are a handful of people named Windy Harper, because when I was making this brand name up, I had to check. People legitimately named Windy Harper out there.
Yes, because I was looking for your Instagram. Is your Instagram a little different than your...
I do not Instagram currently.
Oh, okay, that's why. I was like looking to tag you, and I'm like, there's so many Windy Harpers. Which one? There might be a Windy Harper something with a number that I'm not like...
There are too many Windy Harpers. I'll just put that out there. No one should be named Windy.
Yeah, so but it's perfect though, because it goes with the fact that you're from Chicago and you're a harpist, and it just flows. So it goes.
Yeah, I wanted a brand that sounded like a name, but without having to use my actual name. That's all it was. So.
Wow, good call, Windy. Yeah, so I found you through another streamer that's a musician that you actually had a collab with, and he was on the podcast late last year, and it's Dr. Nice Note, and you had a collab with him, right? Just recently.
We did recently. He's the nicest doctor on Twitch.
He really is.
He did it as a subscriber goal, and I told he set it as 100. If he hit 100 subscribers, we would do a collab together. And I told him to set it at 200 because we met that goal in like no time. So he does the occasional video game music stream just by himself, and that's mainly what I do. So I thought that would be a really cool thing to do together. And it was very interesting as a first-time virtual collab for both of us. We learned some stuff, but yeah, it was super fun. And I think we're gonna do some like YouTube collabs together.
That'd be cool to see some like original stuff come out from you too.
Because that's where it's at now. Collabs. This year is gonna be the year of collabs.
Yep.
I feel that.
And the combination with the harp and the piano and all, they work so well in harmony.
But like all the other stuff he plays too. Like he was adding all sorts of percussion and like synth sounds.
He's amazing.
He can add so much.
And we loved him. We loved him. Dr. Nice Note. Shout out to Dr. Nice Note if he watches the replay VOD, because he's very, very awesome. And like he's just the type of person that he's a gentleman, and he's just he knows all his stuff, and he's a dude. He's a really awesome dude. Like I really enjoyed
He's a gentleman and a scholar, literally. Yes. He has a doctorate.
I mean, he has a doctorate in music. And he was the first doctor on the podcast. I was like, oh, hey, you're the first doctor. And then now you're the first harpist. See? So I need to follow his lead because he's bringing me to good peeps. I like it.
Yep. And you'll see me on most of his streams too. Like, we're there. We have a community that overlaps with a bunch of other streamers, so you see a lot of familiar faces.
Super supportive here on Twitch. So you're having another collab soon too, right?
Yes, this Saturday at noon Eastern, my normal stream time, but I'm going to be joined by fellow Twitch streamer Funk Fiddler. That's Funk with PH. Fiddler with PH. And we met through Twitch, and she just happened to let it, she said that she lived in the Chicago area, and I literally was like, shut up.
What? It's meant to be, damn it.
I think I literally typed shut up in all caps, which is rude. Not like, we don't know each other.
But adorable.
I was like, oh my God, you're like the violinist I've been looking for so long. Like, she can improv, and she can sight read, and she can do all this stuff. And I'm like, we've probably played gigs together, like in orchestras, and didn't know.
Imagine. It's weird because that's happened to me where I've gone to like concerts with friends that I didn't know went to the same concert. I'm like, oh my God, we went to like 5 concerts together in like our youth, and we didn't even know each other until now. Like, and it's so weird. It's like, your paths are gonna cross when they're supposed to cross, and I guess it was that time. So that's amazing. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so we've done a few collabs. She just comes over to my house. And we have one on Saturday. We're gonna do a bunch of love songs, not like gushy stuff. We've got some Beatles, and just a variety of stuff. And then we'll probably do some video game music and requests, and maybe an improv or two or something.
Beatles music. You
never know. Yeah, there's some cute Beatles songs. I want to do like When I'm 64, which is a cute song. And we have a couple other ones, and I Love Her, and so it's kind of a loose love theme. We didn't want to just bombard you guys with gushy love songs for 2 hours, so it's a mix.
I remember I went to a wedding, right? And you know how like in the beginning there's like just like what do you call that when everyone's just
Prelude
drinking
music.
Yeah, in the beginning when before the big thing, everybody's just like socializing and drinking and stuff like that. And I remember I went to a wedding, and they had a little orchestra, and they had a harpist and a violinist, and all these beautiful instrumental songs that were all Beatles songs. And I was like, oh my God, this is like awesome. Such a dream. I'm like, everything was just so perfect. And I said, wow, that's an amazing idea to have like a little orchestra and have that playing in the background, because everybody does the bands and stuff like that, but it was perfect for like the atmosphere and everything. So I really like that. So when you say Beatles music, I'm just thinking about that like really fancy wedding with the Beatles and the music and the harpist and stuff. So that's gonna be nice. I can't wait. So that's Saturday.
It's gonna be super nice. Yeah.
At noon, you said? Noon?
At noon Eastern, yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Right in the middle of the day.
So, you also launched a new song today, right? It was released today.
I premiered a song today.
Wow, that's perfect.
Yeah, I do a monthly creative challenge. It's started by he's a graphic designer on Twitch, and he has an artist of makers and crafters for the most part, and he started a monthly creative challenge back in October, and I kind of just decided to throw my hat in the ring. The first one was October, and the artistic prompt was vending machine, and so I'm like, I initially wrote it off. I'm like, I'm not gonna write a song about a vending machine. Like, what would I even do? And then I got inspired by the submission another artist had put in, and I'm like, okay, I know how to write a vending machine song now. And so I've participated in the challenge every month since then. And actually I have these paintings on the wall behind me. They correspond to a song that I wrote for that challenge. So the one all the way to the left is vending machines. Then we have the toaster with toast. I have a very, very popular song called Let's Make Toast.
I love that one. We're gonna have you play that one, because that one's so cute and quirky and like sweet.
Refrigerators, tower, The last one was Coffee. I have a song that I premiered very recently called Coffee and You. And then, yeah, I have a painting in the mail that is a campfire, which was the theme for this month.
Oh. Yeah, guys, it was so, I swear that Coffee song hit me though. Windy played it for me back in when we were sound checking and I was in tears. I was like, I never knew a Coffee song could hit me this hard.
I see my toast emotes in chat. Yeah,
oh, toast.
Emotes.
So
yep.
What kind of toast do you like? What's a perfect toast for you?
Well, my husband thinks I burn all of my toast. To be fair, I do burn quite a bit of toast. But I just don't care. You scrape it in the sink and it's fine.
Luna burns his toast. He always brings me burnt toast. So
I burn everything. Burnt pancakes.
I'm not alone.
Burn it
what
to
do
a
I
crisp.
like on my toast? It depends. I am all about piling like all my breakfast on a piece of toast. They're like slice of cheese, some eggs, some salsa. That's breakfast.
It works.
It's
neat.
Yeah.
And it's neat.
Toast is just a great
universal
foundation for any breakfast. You can go sweet with it. You can go savory.
Any particular type of bread like that you use for toast?
I use something like I like wheat bread, and my husband really loves like it's called oat nut bread.
Ooh, that sounds
good.
good.
Yeah.
It's got like little oat stuff on the rolled oat flakes on the top of it.
Yeah.
I like that honey wheat.
I'm not all about that white bread. No.
Do you have a Trader Joe's in Chicago? Is that a thing over there?
It is a thing. Yeah.
Okay, the everything bagel sprinkle like seasoning.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that sounds good.
Is that not life on toast?
It's life on toast.
I swear, like you put it on toast, and if you don't have a bagel, you play it off, and you're just like, well, I have the everything bagel from Trader Joe's, and then you put some butter.
Into a bagel.
And there you go, boom, you have a toast bagel. So it works.
Yeah.
So are you gonna play the toast song then? We're gonna have to now. We're gonna have to.
Yeah. Yep.
We're gonna just go into it because we're talking so much about toast and chat, toast and chat.
Let me toast and chat. Okay.
And this is an original Windy Harper song.
This is an original Windy Harper song called "Let's Make Toast." Let me take these up. Come on, everybody, let's make some toast. The part of breakfast we all love the most. Everyone loves toast from coast to coast. So let me show you how I make my toast. Take a slice of bread, doesn't matter what kind. White or wheat or rye is just fine. Drop it in the slot and pull down that thing. When the toaster's done, it makes a ding. Up pops the toast, let's look and see. Well, it looks a little light to me. Let's push it down for one more round and listen for that dinging sound. Come on, everybody, let's make some toast. The part of breakfast we all love the most. Everyone loves toast from coast to coast. So let me show you how I make my toast. Now it's only brown on one side. Flip it around, let's make it right. While we wait, let's grab a few things to really make our breakfast sing. Tell me what topping you prefer, strawberry jam or plain butter. Is that the fire alarm I hear? Now I see smoke, it's just what I feared. Come on, everybody, let's make some toast. The part of breakfast we all love the most. Everyone loves toast from coast to coast. So let me show you how I make my toast. Minutes later, I hear sirens outside. The walls are on fire, there's nowhere to hide. The smoke is thick and it's hard to breathe. I'm down crawling on my hands and knees. Firemen saved my life that day. I'm grateful that I didn't pass away. For now, a hotel is where I stay. At least they have a breakfast buffet. Toast, toast, toasty toast. Toast, toast, toasty toast. The house is toast, so we made toast. Come on, let's make toast.
Jeez, that toast was trying to burn. That's some evil toast right there.
And now I want some toast.
Yeah, so that's how a how a lot of my songs go. They start out real nice and cute, and then there's like it takes a turn somewhere.
And then sometimes it just sabotages your like the toast just ends up burning, and then you end up in a hotel room.
Exactly.
It's like if Disney was to make a Toast movie, that would be it.
Yeah, but you know the person of the song, they're an optimist because even their house burnt down. They're just like, hey, at least the hotel has a breakfast buffet. Things are okay.
See, there's always a sunny side to things, and that's another thing that's really good. Sunny side eggs on a toast.
That's the best, 100%.
I'll take my losses for these breakfasts.
My husband keeps saying now I need to write a song about eggs. So I have like the toast, I have coffee, and he's like, you gotta write a song about eggs. So,
yeah, there's so many ways that you can have your eggs. Well, what's everybody's favorite way to have their eggs? Do they like cheesy eggs? Do they like sunny side, over easy?
I usually go over easy.
Me too. I like the over easy.
Yeah.
I like mine's cooked all the way through.
Yeah,
I don't know what the word for that is, but
scrambled or just like
no, it's just like well done, just like a hard yolk.
Yeah, like he'll put it on the pan and then he'll squish
over
it.
hard or something.
I think it's over hard.
Yeah, it's like overcooked. But it's not an omelet though. It's not an omelet. But I mean, there's no wrong way to eat it, right?
You could take the yolk and it looks like a hockey puck.
Basically, yeah.
So what is this new song that you just launched today about?
This new song. Oh God. Okay. So for this creative challenge, every month, the Drive, who is the streamer, he hosts a showcase where he'll showcase all of the submissions for the month, and he said he really liked my coffee song. He thought it was his favorite because nothing goes wrong.
In the coffee song?
Yeah, and like the Coffee and You, the song for. He's like, I think that's my favorite because nothing goes wrong, no one gets hurt, and no one dies. And I'm like, you're gonna hate the campfire.
Oh no!
Let me pull it up. We can change it up here for sure. So yeah, this month's challenge was campfire. So everyone who enters this challenge in whatever medium, it could be graphic design, there's usually paintings, all sorts of different artistic mediums, but it's your interpretation of a campfire. Okay. And so this is what I decided to do this year or this month.
Okay.
Gather around the campfire, we'll sing songs and tell stories. Gather around the campfire, we'll play games and make s'mores. Here there's peace and quiet, an escape from the day to day. We'll gaze up at the stars and let our troubles drift away. The air is so clean here in this forest of solitude. The water crystal clear here, my is renewed. The sky I did not think I would be performing that on this show.
Well, I love originals. Originals is where it's at. So for me, it's a super treat to see people come in and they're like, "Yeah, I have an original." I'm like, "Yes, can you play it?" Yes, finally. Like that's because that's really where I want everyone to start heading into. Because if you're an artist and you're doing just covers, it's like it's good to practice music that way, but don't you want to create your own, with your own soul and like everything you want to express and be creative and be fun, and then that's how you get your crowd, and you end up really using what you've learned and make it your own.
Yep, especially with all the DMCA stuff going on, originals are safe.
Exactly.
So is the harp the only instrument you play?
Currently, yes.
Yeah.
I have played other instruments over the years. I started piano lessons when I was 3 years old. I've played a handful of instruments. I was playing harp, oboe, English horn, and piano in high school, and then decided to just stick with harp for college and beyond. So I've played a bunch, but this is all I do right now.
Nice. It's a good choice.
Perfect.
I'm well-rounded. All the other instruments, they did their part in making me a well-rounded musician, but harp is all I do now.
So when did you fall in love with the harp? I mean, I could see how easy it is to fall in love with a harp, right? So how is it that you just like one day decided, okay, this is going to be my instrument of choice? When did you really, really like focus on being a harpist?
I was 8. And I wish I had a more vivid memory. But when I was little, I wanted to play all the instruments. Like literally, I wanted to play every single instrument that existed in the orchestra. And I think my parents were relieved when I started asking about harp lessons before like trumpet or drums or violin, the things that take a long time to sound good at. Because literally anyone can come up to a harp and pluck a string and it makes a nice sound. So even when you're like still a beginner, like you can just mess around and make some nice sounds without really having to try too hard.
Yeah, I love the harp. I've always loved and admired the harp. Like my dad, like I think I said it in one of your streams how my dad had a lot of antiques growing up and he had a lot of antique shops. So occasionally, once in a while, you'll get like, nice, beautiful harp or like a big bass. And, he would have guys refinish like these antique pieces and beautiful antique harps. And it was like, yeah, you couldn't mess that up, right? Because they're antiques. So I would look at them and I'm like, oh, I just want to like ding, I just want to touch it. And it was just like there was something so magical, but I like at the same time I respected them because they were just so like, I don't know, angelic sounding and everything. So I've always looked at them like that. Like, yeah, like how can you not feel magical playing a harp? Because there's something really magical of the sound that comes, the frequencies that come out of a harp.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's got a very warm tone. And it's when you're playing it's really pleasant because the whole thing vibrates. And it's just, you can just feel it. You feel the vibrations. And there's something special about an instrument where you are so directly connected to the part that makes music. Because there's nothing coming between me and the strings, let's say. Like the piano, you have to press a key, which is connected to a hammer, which hits a string. Like you're a little, removed from the actual production of sound. There's some steps in the way. But there's just nothing. There's nothing in the way. There's no bow. It's just like my fingers and the strings, and that's it.
Beautiful. I love it. So what kind of harp do you have there? Like there's different types, right?
There are different types. There's different, there's 2 main types of harps. There's small lever harps, and some are really bigger, but and this is called a pedal harp, or a concert grand. This is the full size. Wow. This is as big as harps ever need to be. So the lever harps, they have smaller range. That's maybe from like here to here. For like the largest lever harp. So they're a little bit smaller, not as tall. They don't have our complicated pedal mechanism. which unfortunately I can't show you. If you come on my stream, I have a pedal cam and you can actually see me moving all these foot pedals.
Yeah, you have different angles.
They have these little like flip levers for each string. So it has some limitations, but they're great. It's what most beginners start with. And then you can eventually transition into a pedal harp. Mm-hmm. And they come in a few sizes, but they're generally much larger than the lever harps. And they have a fairly complicated pedal mechanic. So there are 7 pitches, A, B, C, D, E, F, G for musical people. So there are 7 pedals, 1 for each pitch. So each string can play 3 different pitches. So I've got C flat here, it's just an open string, and then I'm moving this pedal, and it's pinching the string like if you were, putting your finger down on a guitar fret. I'm raising the pitch half a step, and then I can do that again to get C sharp. So I have C sharp, C natural, and C flat, all on the same string, and that changes every octave at the same time. So every string can do that, which allows us to play in all the keys. For all you pianists out there, the strings are basically the white keys on the piano. And what the pedals do is they change those white keys into black keys. So that's how we get our sharps and flats.
Interesting.
That's beautiful.
So you said how many pedals were there?
7.
7. So 1 for each set of octaves?
1 for each pitch, A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Okay. That's cool. Very,
and then
very
there's different brands and different, there's different countries have their own like harp makers. This one is a Lion and Healy, style 23. I'll type it in chat. It was built here in Chicago in 1979.
Yeah, not only that they sound amazing, they're a work of art themselves.
They really are.
And I have it kind of pulled back, but you can't really see the top part of it. It's got these gorgeous carvings. I can put a picture later in your Discord.
Yes, please.
But the columns are, and all of the carved bits are hand carved here in Chicago.
Wow, that's amazing. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So how much, if I wanted to get a harp, right? Let's just throw it out there, right? What does a harp like that cost?
A harp like this.
That looks gorgeous.
For just a full-size professional level harp, they're gonna start around $20,000 US. That's just like kind of the starting point. And then they go up, and they go up. They generally
Is there special financing on that?
Yes.
It's like getting a car.
Right? I was just thinking like a car. It's like a car, literally.
It's an investment. But then the higher the price range goes, it's usually you're paying for like special hand carvings, or you'll see gold harps where the entire front of the harp is gilded.
Wow.
That's why it's art.
That's a whole, and that's not gonna affect the sound or anything. That's at some point you're paying for aesthetics, but man, a brand new gold harp is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it definitely comes down to the craftsmanship. That's basically what you're paying for.
Yeah, but you know what? This harp will last longer than a car, and the value doesn't depreciate like cars do. So it is an investment, but as long as you take care of them.
That's why I wasn't allowed to touch them. See, now I know.
Is it hard to change out the strings and stuff? And how often do you change them?
I try to do it once a year, and I'm actually due. I need to change a lot of strings. They just start to wear out. So the strings, there's 3 kinds of strings on most harps. You've got these bass wires, which is similar like a double bass string. So I think it's got a steel core. It's got silk wrapping, and then it has I believe it's nickel wrapping on the outside. So it's metal. So it's very much like what you would expect from a bass string. Mm-hmm. So in the middle, we've got natural gut strings. They are made from the guts of cows.
Huh.
Wow. I did not know that.
It is a natural substance. You can't. There is a nylon alternative, but they do not sound very good.
I'm the same.
They do not sound good. So yeah, standard.
You can't tell
is,
animal
is
activists
good.
about that.
Oh no, so
And I know some vegan harpists, and they are just waiting for a viable alternative. There isn't yet, not really. And then at the very top, I do have nylon strings. You could go gut all the way to the top, but the nylon tends to just last a little bit longer. So our high strings will tend to break more often than the rest. And so the nylons are just very practical.
So how
But yeah,
often do you
don't
break
wanna
a
go all the way
string?
up.
Is it like doesn't hardly happen?
It's not very often, and if I can see that one is wearing out or it's getting close to breaking, I will generally preemptively change it because you don't want it to break in the middle of a song or of a performance. I'd rather change it. I'd rather be in control of when I have to change that string.
Yeah.
Break. So I do have some that are getting pretty worn. So I don't think they're not in danger of breaking, but yeah, in the next week or two, I gotta change some.
Got a project ahead of you.
I have a project, yeah, and it takes a few hours.
I know it's traditional to play with your fingers as finger picking. Is there other alternatives like actual like picks that you can use or recommended?
So for us, I have either rubber or felt picks that have very specific use. It's for glissandos. These, when we need them to be really, really, really loud, it's usually an orchestra, and it'll just rip up your fingers. It's like a rug burn. So we have these like picks that we use specifically for that. Beyond that, there's some wire strung like Irish harps that you can use your nails. But for us, we don't have nails. It's kind of like piano, no nails allowed.
Raina Vendel says, whenever I hear a musician talk about their beautiful instruments like this, it makes me feel like I'm just a caveman hitting drums.
I feel you.
Yeah. How many? I see Metal X. How many harps do I own?
Yes, that's a good
just
question.
Just this one. At one point.
I mean, at that point, like that's a 20 grand investment there. Like, would you need anything else in life?
A lot of harpists have multiple instruments.
Yeah.
I don't teach anymore, but back when I was teaching, I had a couple. The most harps I ever had was 3. I had the 2 smaller ones. That I would either have available for students, or most of the time I had them rented out to students. So they weren't even in my house. They were just giving me a rent check for them every month, and it was great. Like the instruments basically paid for themselves after a couple years. But I have since sold them to motivated students. I wasn't using them anymore. I don't teach anymore, so I didn't really need them. So I ended up selling them when I had the opportunity. But I don't know. Part of me would like a little harp again.
Little baby harp.
I don't need it.
Yeah, you have like the big.
I don't need this.
A big boy over there. Like it's like what else? Hello. Got this big boy right here. This is like the boss of all harps.
Yeah. Or there's a really cool electro. It's a fully electric lever harp. It's called a Silhouette. It has no soundboard. It's just the harp frame. And you use a stand or like a harness, so you can like attach it to yourself. So you can like walk around and play it. They're quite heavy. I don't know if I can do that.
Really?
But they're extremely, extremely cool, and I'm always tempted. But they're also like $5,000.
Jeez.
For something that is very.
But you
just
said that one is a $20,000 one. Like what is five is like a drop in the bucket, right? When it comes to harps.
$20,000 for the main instrument that I use to make my living is one thing. Like $5,000 for what is essentially a toy.
Just having fun with, yeah.
Just to have like, okay, I'm gonna pick you up once in a while. I'm gonna baby you and strum you once in a while
it'd be
for
cool to
$5.
do certain things, but it's hard for me to justify.
That's true.
Dropping $5,000 on that.
Yeah, especially so you used to teach. So when you don't teach on Discord or anything like that, or have any kind of perks for like tier 3 maybe or things like that.
I mean, if someone contacted me about a lesson or something, I'd be like, sure. But I don't have any regular students anymore. No one comes to my house for harp lessons anymore. And, which is fine. I really like having my free time and focusing. I don't have time.
Yeah, it's a lot.
My studio just kind of dwindled down. People moved away or whatever. And I just like I don't mind not teaching. It's a lot less time, commitment.
It's more
for
time
me.
for us to see you on
more
stream.
Time to like exactly. I like streaming. I like playing and arranging music and composing and spending time with my husband when I can. And it's like I'm busy. I don't have time for students. But if someone like wanted help with something, like I had a friend contact me. She's like, I'm like starting to arrange video game music, and I just want to pick your brain. So, like, yeah, I'll have a Discord, lesson with you for an hour or whatever. Like that's fine. But no, I don't teach little harpists anymore.
Aw. So how is it that you found Twitch? When did you start on Twitch playing the harp?
So I started, my first stream was January 4th of last year. So I just celebrated my anniversary last month.
Yay!
Wow.
And I know, it flew by. And yeah, it's been, last year has been a journey for sure.
Oh my God. But you came in right at the right time though.
Yeah. And I didn't come in because of COVID. This was something I had planned anyway. I had started working on video game arrangements back in November, and with the intent to start streaming in the new year. I was getting a new PC for Christmas. My husband was helping me get all my stuff set up, and it had been in the back of my mind for about a year before I started streaming. I'm like, this is something that like I think I could do. I actually discovered Twitch through gaming. Some of my favorite, I'm a big Souls fan, the Souls series, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, all that stuff. And some of my favorite YouTubers, my favorite YouTubers were always talking about, come watch us live on Twitch. So Twitch gaming brought me over to Twitch. And then I start poking around and I'm like, oh, there's music here too. Cool, let me look into this. And then I just, I started watching more music streams, and I'm like, I think I can do this. I think I have something unique that I can offer.
You do.
And I was coming off a few years of just really intense burnout from just being a classical harpist and trying to just doing that full time and freelancing. And there was like 3 years back in, was it 2013-ish. I didn't practice. I didn't enjoy playing the harp. It was still my job. I would learn the music I had to learn for gigs and stuff, but it wasn't fun. And I just, I can't quit. It's my job.
Yeah.
And so I was and before Twitch, if you want to do a fun musical project, just for fun, there's no money in it at all whatsoever. And good luck finding like a venue where anyone can show up. Like the stuff I do with Funk Fiddler, I thought about doing that years ago, but there's no venue for it. What are we gonna do? Play bars and restaurants? There's no money in it. Like there was no reward for all of the effort we were going to put into it because I hadn't really thought about YouTube and all that stuff. Yeah. So now we have Twitch, and it is the venue for stuff like this, where we can do pop covers and video game music, and we have people from all over the world watching. If you were gonna do a real life gig in Chicago with like, the stuff Funk Fiddler and doing, we'd be lucky to have like 20 people show up.
Yeah.
And we'd be playing in a bar or something. Like.
Yeah, that's true. So like Twitch was like, wow, like it just hit you like this is where I'm gonna do my stuff now.
This is yeah. I wanted an outlet that wasn't classical music. I thought about putting in like a classical. I don't have any CDs or anything, and I'm like, I should find some music that I really like, and put together an album. And I didn't really find enough music to put together an album, so I just kind of let it go. I was just so burnt out on the classical stuff, and I needed a new outlet. And I kind of started getting into the video game music, and I went down a huge rabbit hole, and I have not climbed out.
Hey, video game music is solid.
So beautiful, yes.
Like Final Fantasy compositions and stuff is
Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, Zelda. There is so much of the Mario stuff. There is just masterful composing happening in the video game music scene, and some of the newer stuff. Hollow Knight is absolutely
oh my god, Hollow Knight.
The soundtrack is amazing. And I kept finding things. I'm like, I love this music. I want to arrange it for harp. No one has done it before. And that is what has reignited my passion for the harp, because it wasn't there for years. You know, I did the job. You know, I played my orchestra rehearsals and concerts, which I do love, and I do miss playing in orchestra. But I was just so burnt out, and I needed something different. And I took a new musical direction, and it's kind of my main musical direction now. And then we started adding the original songs, and I love doing that too. And so COVID has been one of the most productive and like inspiring times of my life.
Yeah, which is strange because you hear people saying how they had such a hard year, but like for people like us that stream, it was like it was actually when we blew up the most and started getting more into streaming because we had nothing else really to like put us in like a place where like, okay, we're social distancing, we're not allowed to go anywhere, and I'm really starting to like go crazy in my head. And then you start missing the live shows and the venues and the whole like interaction and the music experience. So then because that's how it happened with me. I mean, being from New York City, you know the venues and the whole, and you being from Chicago, you know how like being in a live like audience and seeing someone is like it brings you to like, it brings you life, you know, it makes you feel. So when we all became these hermit crabs, right, it's like some people actually said, well, this is nothing for me, I play video games all day and I do this, like YouTubers, they were like, I got this. But like people that are used to doing venues and stuff, it was kind of like, well, you know what? This is something interesting. I don't have to leave my house. I don't have to take my big instrument like you have your big harp. Like you don't have to mobilize it anywhere. It's like you can just go boom, live, and then you start and you grow your audience. And 2020 was the year for the streamer.
Yeah, I don't miss having to put this in my car and take it to gigs anymore.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine like somebody see you need help and then like it's bigger than you, Windy.
So many people try to help, and it's just like, please, just go away.
You don't. So wait, do you just like wrap it up and put it on a cart or something, or is it like?
It has like a thick padded like shipping cover. It when it's on, it looks like a giant blue oven mitt.
Aww.
And then it has like a cart that's specially designed to fit the harp, and so you know you just wheel it around. It's not, you do have to like physically like shove it in and out of cars, but we're not like lifting it and like carrying it around. So
I'm like thinking about that.
On your shoulder, you're going down the stairs.
It's like an ant with like a leaf on top of the. Yeah, that's
what, like on your back. You're like holding it.
Yeah, not so much. So yeah, they're not like that hard to get around. You know, you do what you gotta do. But there's always that one person who wants to try and help, and it's just like, no, I know I'm small.
I know that's so much bigger than you.
And no, I don't wish I played the flute. But thanks for that.
Oh, that's somebody said that to you.
Going back to what you were saying,
that guy, always that guy. Don't you wish you played the flute or the piccolo or whatever? Like, no,
it's not the same.
Yeah. Like, why'd you choose the drums? Because I like the drums.
I know. Yeah. Imagine Luna got to like set up everything and bring all the different
take everything apart and put it together and then take it apart again and then put it together again.
You guys have way more stuff to haul than we do. Like ours is big and awkward, but you guys win with volume of stuff.
Yeah, that's why we have to get there like early and set it up before anyone's there. But yeah, like I was just gonna say, like I can relate to like your desire to do something different with music, because when I started making YouTube videos, I didn't do the whole typical like drum cover artist type of thing, like finding a rock song or a metal song or any of the pop songs and stuff like that and play drums on them. I wanted to do something different, so I found video game music, and then I got into the Two Steps from Hell compositions, and I'm just like, I'm diving into this, and they have drums, but it's orchestrated drums, and then I just apply like my drums on it. And then with that, it did provide like a different, like you have your own creativity on top of it as well, and then it's just I find it more fun that way. Sure. Following a guideline of someone else's drumming on it. So.
So guys, if there's any questions in the chat, let us know that we can ask.
I did see one.
Oh yeah.
Harp's a handed instrument, like a left hand, right hand thing. It's the same no matter what your dominant hand is. at least classical harp like this. Harp sits on your right shoulder, and right hand goes here, and the left hand goes on the other side. So. There are some other disciplines, but for I would say 90% of all harp playing around the world, like, you know, harps that look like this, goes on your right shoulder, you got left hand, which does, like the piano, covers the bass area, because, you know, we have more freedom, because I can't really reach, the harp gets in the way, can't reach the bass stuff with the right hand. So you got your bass and your treble. And they cross over, but yeah.
Would it be impractical if you put it on the left shoulder?
Everything would be backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't even do it because I'm attached to my microphone right now. Actually, Harpo Marx, who, I mean, I think must be the most well-known harpist around the world, he actually learned backwards because he was completely self-taught. He didn't know what he was doing.
What?
And he started studying with a professional harpist, and she had to kind of like
dude, you're actually doing it backwards.
Yeah. And he never learned how to read music or anything, so they would do music lessons over the phone when he was on tour, or you know, they were on set or whatever. And yeah, they did everything by ear. But yeah, he initially learned the harp backwards, so I can't imagine flip around. It'd be so disorienting.
Wow. So, any questions in the chat? Or Luna, do you have any questions?
So what are your bigger inspirations as far as getting into like the classical music and stuff like that when you were playing, or when you were learning to play?
My bigger inspirations. Well, my mom specifically was absolutely determined to have me in like musical training, and my teachers recognized talent when I was very young, and she just, you know, I think it all stems from the fact that her mother let her quit piano lessons, and she regretted that later in life. So I was just in music lessons all the time. Everything was music.
So what are your favorite harpists?
My favorite harpists. I think the most fun harpist I've ever seen play is, his name is, I'm going to type it in chat. His name is Park Stickney. And he is, I think, easily the foremost professional jazz harpist in the world.
Ooh, jazz
harpist. No one can do what he's doing. And he is just so funny and engaging. And if I could play like Park Stickney, that'd be great. It'll never happen. Like, sure, that's a high goal.
We gotta check that out.
Definitely check him out.
It's kind of like those like beatbox flutists.
It's a different spin. It's kind of like her. She has a different spin to being a harpist. You know, it's not all just classical music. So I get that.
Yeah, I don't just play pretty music. I play songs that have groove to them, some of the video game music stuff. And yeah, I really admire Jonathan Colton and his songwriting. And I think, that's where a lot of my, just the comedic aspect, like, I think I've definitely been inspired by Jonathan Colton and some other comedic artists. But yeah, I don't just write pretty songs.
So what are you listening to these days? Like what's your top 5 albums that you're like, okay, this is maybe what people don't think I listen to, but this is what I've been bopping to.
So my husband's home all the time. He works from home, and so he generally has music going on all the time, and so we end up kind of listening to the same things. So things that people wouldn't think I would listen to, but definitely also inspire some of my songwriting too. Ninja Sex Party.
Oh, we keep hearing about that guy.
Yep, Ninja. It's 2 guys. It's Dan Avidan and Brian Wendt, maybe. He goes by Ninja Brian. Danny Sexbang and Ninja Brian. Absolutely check their albums out. Their songwriting is incredible, and some of their songs have no business being so good, when like the lyrics are just filthy.
Yeah, it's funny. Well,
in like a funny way, but like the quality of their songs are so high. Like Tenacious D too.
Yeah, oh,
some of the
yeah,
music they
we love
wrote is
them.
just so good that if they actually wrote serious music, like it would be amazing. But they write all these ridiculous songs.
Oh, we need that in the world. We need that.
Yes, yeah. So yeah.
Like toast.
Like a toast song.
Let's make toast. So yeah, we listen to a lot of Ninja Sex Party in the house. What else? I'm always looking for new video game soundtracks. So I'm always like bouncing around new indie games.
So what's your favorite games that you're playing right now then? Like
that I'm playing? Right now, the only game I'm playing is Dark Souls 2, and I cannot call it my favorite game.
Oh no.
But some of the games I streamed last year, Hollow Knight, which is amazing, and it's a really difficult game, but
tough.
highly rewarding. Dark Souls and Bloodborne. I played Journey recently, which is a really charming game. It's very easy. But I think at the time it's very affordable on PS4. But I play a lot of the music from it, and it's just an absolutely gorgeous game in every aspect. So yeah, no, I do some gaming, but I haven't had much time over the last few months. I've been too busy with music stuff and prepping for collabs and all this other stuff, writing songs. I haven't had time for video games.
That's good though, because you're being productive with your time.
Being productive. So I do have a gaming channel. I split my channel starting this year, so I do game on a separate channel. And so actually, like having a weekly game stream, like at least guarantees that I'm gonna get some gaming in for fun.
Oh, that's good for yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with composers like Christopher Tin and Thomas Ferguson, Nick Phoenix?
I don't know them. What have they like? Where would I know them from?
Well, Christopher Tin created music for Civilization 4.
Video game.
Yeah.
Got it.
Nick Phoenix and Thomas Ferguson are cinematic composers.
Thomas Ferguson, though, you would like him, Windy. He's really good. It's really good. It's powerful music. It has like a fusion of like cinematic, but with like
some EDM elements.
Yes,
and
I think she would like it because it's not only classical and stuff like that. It's like different types of elements in it, and it's fun.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll definitely have to check them out.
I'll send you over.
Luna,
Yeah.
Get those names. Yeah, totally.
There's quite a few.
Video game composers. Let's see. I've actually met and worked with Austin Wintory, he did the soundtrack for Journey, and he worked on the soundtrack for Ori and the Blind Forest.
Oh my God, that's the one Max plays that loves.
Yeah. Gareth Coker was the main composer for Ori, but Austin Wintory has some credits there as well, because that's a huge score.
That is.
Oh, yeah.
How did you get that gig?
Okay, so I worked with a chamber ensemble here in Chicago, and they did a series of concerts called Journey Live, and they were touring with it. And what the show was, and I was brought in to kind of replace another harpist who had like moved away, and they had issues with another one. I don't know or care the details, but I wish I had come on from the very beginning, because it was an amazing experience. So what they did is a 13-piece ensemble. It was strings, French horn, bassoon, flute, clarinet, oboe, double bass, percussion. It was a huge percussion setup, and piano. And we would perform the music to the video game live as it was being played by players on stage. And so the way the music works is that it changes depending on where the player goes and what the player chooses to do. So having to kind of respond to that, and it was conducted by the shows that I did were both conducted by Austin Wintory, and just how well he knows this game, because he's just watching the game being played live, so he doesn't know what they're going to do. Like, you just never know, and he's having to kind of direct this ensemble so that we can smoothly shift to the next thing, to the next cutscene, or he's entering this new area, so the music changes. And so we did that live, and they would have a different gamer for each chapter of the game, and that was just such an incredible experience. And the music itself wasn't that difficult, at least for me, but having to be so like locked in visually to what a conductor is, because it'd be very easy to miss a cue. And end up in the wrong place because you might have to go back like 2 pages, or you just it was very interesting, and the music was so gorgeous, and that was in, I think that was in 2018, and that is also what kind of sparked me wanting to get into this. I saw there's a huge fan base for that particular game, and just how much this music meant to some people. I'm like, there's something to this, and I think a lot of people are going to be nostalgic about all kinds of video games from their youth, but even stuff from today, people love it, and they crave it, and I get requests for things all the time, and so I have a huge backlog of arrangements to do.
And you're on the right platform for it too, so.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what else would I be doing with this in Chicago? Like, no one would care.
Yeah.
no one.
So, anyone know of this tune by Zelda?
Exactly. But yeah, Twitch brings your audience to you.
Yes.
And that's extremely unique, and I think it's. Live performances will always be the ideal situation, but I have people watching from Europe and Asia, and you can't get that in a live concert setting. You have to travel, and this brings everybody right to you.
In the comfort of your own home.
In the comfort of wherever. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
So did you used to play in concert halls and do all those kind of like big events?
Yeah.
So what would you?
I worked as a normal. Well, as a freelance harpist, like I do all sorts of things. I would do hotel work, either for like afternoon tea or special events, corporate events, weddings. Anyone would contact me and be like, oh, I'm scheduling this event. Or my sister's getting married, whatever, we're looking for a harpist. I advertised with a gig service. I would get stuff from them. The harp community in Chicago is pretty good about sending gigs to other harpists. There's networking that way. Be like, oh, I got this wedding, I can't do it. Here, contact this person. I also play with a bunch of orchestras in the region. I love playing with other people, and I love playing with like the big works, Mahler symphonies. And Debussy and Ravel, all the stuff that has really great harp parts. And I love work being like a small piece of a large puzzle. But like every piece has to do their part. But I love being just like part of something bigger. I mean, my ideal job would be as an opera harpist. Even this is what I would have said 20 years ago, and it's still true today. I would love to be buried in the pit. You're not on stage. You're not. There's no lights on you. You're not the star. I'm perfectly fine. I do theater work too, for like musical theater, like Broadway stuff too. Mm-hmm. And I'm more than happy to be like in a pit, not on stage, but like you're part of something big. And there's a lot of moving parts, and it's always really exciting. You never know what's gonna go wrong, or I love being part of something that music and dance and acting and singing and all this stuff, huge productions. Those jobs are hard to come by. So as a freelancer, you do whatever comes your way. So yeah, it was always just a variety of stuff.
Oh wow. With opera houses and things like that, I always was really intrigued by like the pit, and I would look over because I would go like for trips in school and stuff, like when you would go see like Phantom of the Opera and like Tosca and all that stuff. And I remember I always used to be like, man, the power, it's just nothing like it. If you've never been to a Broadway show or an opera, it's like you don't know what you're in for. And then I've always like taken people to that. When when people come to New York City, they're like, oh, I want to go to Broadway, I want to go. And it's nothing could explain the way your heart feels when you hear that orchestra. Like, just go. And then I love being next to the orchestra, like the part where you're just like looking over and they're just there, and you can feel everything while you're watching. So to me, that was amazing. Windy Rose, welcome in. Thank you for coming
Windy
in.
Rose.
Thank you for the.
Do you do you said you do theater? Do you do like acting as well?
No, I would play like if it's musical theater, I'd be playing harp in a band.
You'd be playing for
or off stage or sometimes on stage. Depends. There's a show called The Fantastics, which I've done many runs of. It's actually one of the oldest shows, Broadway shows ever. I think it was from the 50s, and the music is just piano and harp. That's it, and it's generally on stage. Sometimes they might add percussion or bass or something, but the book is piano and harp. And so you're playing the whole show, and you're generally on stage. And that is one of my favorite shows to play. And it's a really, the music is wonderful. Some of those songs are still popular today. I still hear people requesting Try to Remember on Twitch. So this show has aged, but it has absolutely lasted and is a classic.
Nice.
And so yeah, I would work with one main theater in Chicago. It was a small, I think they called it a mid-sized theater, but just owned by a couple lovely people who would direct and music direct the shows, and they did incredible work, and I really miss doing those shows. And they were like maybe 5 shows a week when they were doing shows, so you're working, and they actually had to close the theater because of COVID.
Oof.
It's just so sad.
So do you travel, what's the furthest you traveled outside of Chicago for gigs? And
for a gig in recent times, I'll go to Wisconsin or Indiana. There's stuff within like fairly quick driving distance. I think the furthest I ever went was Dubuque, Iowa, to play with the symphony out there. And for those kind of things, like they'll either put you up in a hotel or they have housing provided for you, and you just kind of like stay out there for 4 days or whatever. So I'll do those. They don't come across very often. But yeah,
I can see like this, there's this pianist that we know from New York that traveled the world with his piano, and it's like just giant like wood pianos, like the what do you call them?
Upright.
Yeah, like those uprights.
I can't imagine having to travel around with your own piano.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He went through a lot.
I would
He's
imagine.
legendary. We met him through another platform, and he literally went and took his phone and was streaming every place he went, and he would take his upright. Like I'm talking about, like he would go to
it was like at the Grand
Canyons in front of the Eiffel Tower.
Oh my god, that's awesome though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Amazing.
I was like, I could see that like a thing for like harps as well. Like you just take it, travel around, and just play everywhere.
Yeah, he did that for a while. He did it for a while.
It's more mobile than a piano, but that's theoretically one of the nice things about being a pianist is you don't have to take an instrument with you most of the time. You run the risk of having a really crappy piano for you when you get there.
Untuned, yeah.
Yeah, it's like poorly tuned or whatever. But yeah, most pianists don't, lug a piano to gigs like a keyboard or some like electric. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah, just imagine that. That's. Oof.
You have like in a U-Haul or something. Like you can't put a piano in a car.
I think he had his car. I think he had like one of those trailer backs, and then he would pull it off the trailer, and then and then put them on like dollies,
Yeah.
and then wrap it on the dollies, and then haul it like
Once
from
he
the parking lot
he
all the way
smashed
up
it
to,
on
like,
his
the
hand,
canyon.
and then he couldn't play for a while because he smashed it on his hand, and he
No.
like
Yeah, it fell on his hand.
It's, you know, moving large instruments is dangerous work. I've definitely injured myself moving my harp around.
I was always
Yeah,
afraid to
it's a
get
problem.
stabbed with like my stands and stuff. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, yeah, it's risky. It can definitely, you know, strain your hand or something. You know, shoving heavy stuff in and out of cars, and you know, you have to carry more stuff than I do. You know, yeah, definitely lugging stuff around. It's risky.
Yeah. The prices we pay as musicians.
We sure do pay them. I mean, they have a physical toll on us.
Yeah. So do you wanna play another like a gaming theme song?
let's play some video game music.
Let's see. We talked about Hollow Knight earlier. I could
Oh
play,
yeah, let's do some Hollow Knight.
Let's do some Hollow Knight. I think Green Path is probably my favorite. It's this really lush, like wooded area, and the music is just it's so fitting. So I'll do here's Green Path from Hollow Knight.
Ooh, green. Windy Harper on YenYorkCity. Enjoy. so gorgeous. So beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, as pretty as that one is, it's kind of a beast to play.
Yeah. Do you find yourself getting like when you mess up a couple of times and then you get frustrated, do you find yourself getting a little bit more aggressive on your plucking?
Yeah.
Like pluck away like harder.
I try not to let that happen. And you know, most of the time if I make a mistake, if I can keep going, like I will. But I just like I got to this first page, like 2 lines in, and my eyes just like jumped the line. I'm like, there's like I can't find my place.
I wish I could sight read that like a book. I mean, like I'm not like I took some lessons, but like you know reading percussion for drums and stuff, and even like just the most basic outline. I'm just like lost. Like okay, well, where's the 8th and the 16th landing on this whole thing? This is a dotted 8th? What?
Yeah. And I mean, drum music in general, like, oh my gosh, like drum set, you're reading like all the different parts. Like drum music and percussion music looks absolutely insane, and I don't know how anyone reads it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stacks.
Music, there's a lot of different lines. You got different like shaped note heads and so much information. I don't know how anyone sight reads drums. Whereas my music, it just looks like piano music.
So what was the music that you said you did some of the music for Ori the game, the video game or you were part of the
Austin Wintory? That was a Journey. It's a game for PS4. It's called Journey. Not Journey, just a small town girl.
Not that one.
Different Journey. I can play something from Journey. Let's see.
Yeah, that would be fun to hear.
Let me do. No, not that one. Let me just do the overture. The overture's lovely.
Yes.
Oh, I really like that one.
So beautiful. I just want to close my eyes when I listen to her playing. Like I just.
All I see is like
Makes
pictures of
sense.
like the woods and stuff, and
Yes.
there's like
Yeah, and you
sceneries.
would love the soundtrack. Go look it up on YouTube. Journey, PS4.
I will.
Absolutely go.
Nice.
So yeah, like this opening, it's solo cello. Like the cello plays like a huge part. So I tried to
Majestic.
play it as cello-like as I can.
Okay.
But it's just this melody is just gorgeous,
Mm.
and it comes back through. It's like this common thread throughout the game, and it's beautiful.
It's so emotional listening to this. I swear.
Yeah.
I was literally crying, guys. Like before the podcast, like I was just like, I just can't. This is so like she was like literally playing one of her originals too.
I was playing a silly song.
Yes, and I was like, it's just so beautiful.
Yeah, Journey is a game that will make you cry. It's very emotional, but like in a great way. It's just really touching. Really, really amazing game, and the music is definitely part of that.
So I'm looking at the technique that you're doing on your harp. Is there a word? There's a word that's coming to my head that starts with a G. It's I I think it's associated with when you do the run between the low to the high.
Glissando.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a glissando. There's a bunch of weird stuff.
Ooh, do it again. Where you tickle me when you do that.
I'll make
It's like yes, it's just like magic.
There's a bunch of cool things that are the glissando like that is kind of unique to harp, whereas like piano they can do gliss, but it's always like just on the white keys. You can't really change the key like we can. And trombones also have a gliss too, but it's not the same. So I'd say the glissando is pretty unique to the harp in the way that that we're using it. But there's other things you can do. Actually, I think I used it in the last song. It's called harmonics.
Yeah, I
like
love that.
string instruments, guitar, and all the bowed instruments, they have harmonics, and it's a way of plucking the string or bowing the string so that you're essentially making it sound an octave higher. So this is what this note normally sounds like. But the harmonic makes it sound an octave higher, and it gives it this really like nice bell-like tone. So we use
that reminds
in
me of
music too.
that reminds me of like sound healing, like the sound healing.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I just want all of them. I just want all the instruments. So I'm obsessed with sound healing as a yoga instructor, and like it's just it's so good, and it is, music is healing, but the frequencies and the little harmonics and stuff. So I do have a bunch of singing bowls, and also like handpan, like little space drums and stuff like that, and they do those beautiful little magical tones. And that, so that to me, that's like the same. It gives me the same feeling that when I listen to them. So those are the little harmonics that you do. So what song would that showcase that the most? What kind of song?
Oh, what song do I have a lot of harmonics in? I don't use it too often.
Hey,
My
Darth.
arrangement of. Hey, Darth Fritz is here.
Yes, Darth was on the podcast. He was one of my first.
Hi, Darth.
Yes. We love Darth.
I know Darth. I have played a lot of his Catterday charity trainings.
Catterdays.
Mm-hmm.
Darth
Let
is
me think.
awesome.
What has? Let's see.
We got your girl Windy tonight. Windy Harper.
We talked about this earlier, so it's not in like the original music, but the arrangement that I did, I decided to throw a bunch of harmonics in here, so I'll just do it. This is Great Fairy Fountain from Zelda.
Ooh, yes, I love this one. All right, everyone. I hope you're enjoying this beautiful harpist, Windy Harper, on the YenYorkCity Podcast. That's beautiful. That's one of my favorites. I love anything like that has those harmonics and stuff. And
Hey,
Zelda.
we should just like animate you and then put you in the Great Fairy Fountain because you can resemble one of the greatest fairies out there.
Yeah, where's Max? Max needs to bring all his like fox friends and like all those kind of. I feel like if you play this kind of music in like a forest, all the animals would just come to you. Kitty, say hi to the kitty.
She's like, I've been quiet for so long, I can't hold it in
Aw,
anymore.
meow. Do you have redemption?
Do I what?
Do you have cat redemptions on your stream for your kitty?
Oh, we do. We do have a Where's the Kitty redemption. Which I'll go grab her and bring
There
her.
goes her
bring her on
emotes.
camera. Yeah, we have the emotes. Yeah.
Oh,
So she's old and cranky, and so she's getting more vocal in her old age. She's just like,
what's her name?
"Everything sucks, and I'm old, and I don't know, she's always complaining, and she wants attention all the time, and it's never enough. It's never enough.
You're like, love me.
She's like, "Let me, pay attention to me, touch me, pet me, feed me." All the
What's her name?
time. Well, her name is officially Munchkin, but we affectionately call her Trash Goblin.
Trash goblin.
That's
Affectionately
great.
though,
Yeah, trash goblin.
affectionately.
Yeah. You're just a cute little trash goblin.
Trash Goblin.
Oh. Did you find her? Like, is there a story behind that name? No.
She's just kind of a jerk sometimes. And she's cute and little, but don't let that fool you. She could be a total jerk.
She's a goblin.
Yeah, so we call her
turns
Trash
into a
Goblin.
goblin.
My husband named her Trash Goblin.
That's great.
Oh, out of love.
Yeah, out of love. Out of love.
So guys, if you are not following Windy Harper, she's here on Twitch. She does all kinds of different type of streams too. Do you have like video game only streams where you play only video game music also?
I do all requests, so anything from my song list, Monday, Friday, and Saturday. On Wednesday, I've kind of turned those into what I call workin' Wednesdays, where I practice things or I try to record stuff for YouTube. Those have become kind of like, redeemed requests only through like subs or whatever. So yeah, I try to actually practice and create content on Wednesdays.
Okay, so you have a YouTube. So there goes her YouTube, guys.
I do have a YouTube. There is stuff on there now. It took a long time.
We gotta get her to 1,000 subs.
Let's go. We're at
Let's go.
something.
She's got to get her web URL up on there.
Yeah, I need a real URL. Yeah, I'm trying to get new stuff up there every month. I've got some more harp solos, some video game music. I've got some YouTube collabs that I would like to try and get up this month. I have some cool stuff coming up soon, so I just have to like buckle down and actually get this stuff recorded, which is tricky because I record in my living room in my house, and I don't have like a quiet studio to do all of this in, so it's very tricky to create any decent sounding recordings for YouTube and stuff. So it's challenging for sure.
Have you found yourself like when you start writing songs, you don't write in a traditional way that, like, for instance, like I'm a drummer and I listen to a lot of like rock and metal and stuff like that. And when I write music, I don't write rock or metal music. Like I write like cinematic, kind of more orchestrated type of songs. Do you find yourself when you're writing stuff that you don't write things in a classical way, so to say?
I definitely don't write anything in a classical way. All of my originals are kind of, I think they can best be described as children's songs for adults.
Yeah.
Like they're very simple chords, simple melodies. And like the toast song is like, let's make toast. Let me show you how I make my toast. Like it seems like it could be a kid's song, except you set the house on fire and bad stuff happens.
Yeah.
So I really feel like the songs that I write are children's songs for adults for the most part. And like even my campfire song, like I was looking at campfire songs that already exist. I was thinking like This Land Is Your Land, and Kumbaya and stuff, like things that already exist, and I was kind of modeling that after those.
Yeah,
But then, it's about werewolves and they go and they eat a bunch of deer or whatever. I leave it open. Maybe it's people. I don't know. They go out and be werewolves and it gets all bloody. And my husband was very impressed that I was able to get marrow into a song.
Marrow.
Nice.
Yes, I you know what? That's so funny. Because that stood out so much to me when you said marrow. I was like, she really put marrow in there from the bone.
I tried to make it gory, but like not too gory.
No, but you know what's so funny? Here in New York City, there was actually a big trend where people were having like marrow soup, and it was like supposedly really, really healthy for you. And yeah. So there was literally like spots like that here.
At fancier restaurants. It's absolutely a thing.
Yeah, it was really big here.
Yeah.
Almost as big as avocado toast.
And then most of my songs. I think most of my songs follow like what I would consider like a child genre-esque like song format. Very simple and repetitive. And then I wrote one instrumental song, but it's like I took Lake Hylia from Zelda's Twilight Princess and was it Stardust Road or Stardust Galaxy from Super Mario Galaxy and just kind of like smashed them together.
Oh, I love that. I was just playing that like 2 weeks ago. Remember I was telling you like the Mario Galaxy, and it's so pretty.
The music is in both those games is incredible. So yeah, I was writing. I had this. It started from like an improv. I just wanted to like play with these two, switching back and forth from these two different chords, and then I started writing this melody to it, and I'm like, this just sounds like Zelda smashed together. I would say video games have infiltrated my songwriting style as well. And it just loops. If you could just let it loop forever, like video game music, everything loops.
Yeah.
And I had to like struggle. I'm like, okay, I have to end this somehow. Because most video game music it just goes over, repeats over and over until you go do something else, and the music
just fades out,
goes away.
Yeah.
It fades out or just switches. I can play that. So
I'll try not to cry this time.
Don't cry. Don't do it. So I think any instrumental pieces I write will inevitably be inspired by video game music. It's just like in me now. And I used to do a lot of swing dancing years ago. So
I love swing music.
Swing,
yes.
That swing is in my ear as well. You can hear that in a couple of my songs.
Oh my god, I love that. I'm gonna love your originals then. If you put in some swing in there, electro swing. Me and Luna did an electro swing themed night where he did drums.
Like electro swing.
And then I was like, I dressed, the whole part, and I was dancing behind his drums. So like, I get into that kind of music. I love it.
Yeah. My husband and I used to go out swing dancing as a thing you can just do.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
We love the music and we love the dancing. And so that swing is definitely in my wheelhouse for songwriting.
I like that. That's good to have that in there. Mix it in there.
Everyone should learn how to swing dance.
Yes.
Everyone should learn how to dance something. I think swing dance is just a really great starter. But anyway, here is a song I wrote. It's called Lake Galactica, which is the play on Lake Hylia, where I took the bass from. It's note for note, it's definitely not all. I do stray, but like that's where the inspiration was from Lake Hylia from Zelda's Twilight Princess, and then just some of the more melodic stuff. It really seems like it could be in a Mario Galaxy game, at least to my ear. So here's Lake Galactica. Yeah, I could just loop that
You just keep going and keep going. Yeah.
over and over.
This is the song
Yeah.
that never ends.
It never ends. And I'm like, oh my god, I have to write an ending for this. Or, yeah.
It sounds nice. I really like it.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to try and write more instrumentals this year as well, and not just the silly songs. But I think I just came up with this idea like a few days ago, and I'm like an instrumental album of kind of like spacey sounding, like video game, like inspired, like instrumentals for harp would be really cool.
That would be my dream. Like, I would love to hear something like harpy, spacey, and like melodic and beautiful.
Yeah. So yeah, it would all be like very melodic and accessible. Yeah. So.
Oh, we got it here. So, Windy, you and I are gonna get together. We're gonna write something, and Yen's gonna put vocals over it.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Wonderful.
I do sound healing and I do meditation. So I always wanted to do some kind of spacey like meditation, like just take you on a journey with like you know, all the different elements of space and just everything. Like everything you're doing and saying right now, I'm like, yes, that's what I'm feeling.
We're on the same wavelength.
Yes, for real. But yeah, there's so many people to collab on Twitch. Like, is there anyone that in particular? Because I know you're doing the collab this Saturday at noon, guys. Make sure to tune in. She's gonna have a beautiful collab with a violinist, and that's gonna be amazing. So that's at noon Eastern time on Saturday. So is there any other ones in the work, or anyone that you would like to just put it out there? You never know who's gonna be watching the VOD or lurking or whatever. Like, who would you want to have a collab with that you're like looking at?
I would love to do another one with Dr. Nice at some point when we are a little bit better at doing virtual collabs. Because I really like playing with him.
He's awesome.
I have some YouTube stuff, but as far as like in real life collabs or virtual like streaming collabs, there's nothing in the works right now. The next few collabs are going to go onto YouTube. So I've got something in the works with Brookstone Bards, and I also have some collabs in the work with Marked Chords. Okay. He's an incredible baritone. So we're gonna put some more. We did one song together. It's on my YouTube. We did "Oh Holy Night" for my arrangement, and we did that for Christmas. And now it's not Christmas anymore, so it's time to put something else out. So hopefully we'll have something, if not more than one thing, out this month.
That'd be cool.
So
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So what's your schedule like? When's the next time we can see you? Because today's
Today's
the beginning
Monday.
it's the beginning of the week. So when do you go live this week?
So my next music stream will be on Wednesday for Workin' Wednesdays. I'm going to try, my goal is to get a couple originals recorded for YouTube, and maybe Quarters of Time, which I played earlier. So if I could get good takes of those 3 songs, that would be a really productive stream. And then my next like all request music stream will be Friday at noon.
Oh, so do you normally, it's noon for Wednesday also?
Wednesday is a little bit later. It's at 2 p.m.
Okay, 2 p.m.
Eastern.
on Wednesday Eastern time, because Windy is in the Windy City. Like, if you didn't know, that's why her name is Windy. She's from Chicago. I have a friend that's moving from Chicago to New York City, actually. He's a guitarist. And ironically, like, I was like, wow, that's something, because my oldest guitarist that I had, that he was like amazing, that I missed so freaking much, like, he ended up moving to Chicago, and then I was like, we lost touch and everything, and I was like, damn it, I was like, my guitarist is somewhere in Chicago right now. And then I go and I find a guitarist on Twitch, and he was actually the DJ for TwitchCon, the last TwitchCon 2019. And we went, and we didn't even know that he was the formal DJ for the TwitchCon, right? And then, anyways, to make a long story short, I was like, so my guitarist was still in Chicago, and now he's coming to New York. So it's like, it just kind of goes, you know, like full swing.
And then coming to you.
Yes, and then like I met you now from Chicago, so I don't know, something about people from Chicago, I guess. I don't know. But
Yeah.
have you ever been to New York?
I've been, yeah.
You said you did Broadway, right?
Well, I've done Broadway's in musical theater in Chicago, so
okay.
Nothing on Broadway. I have never worked as a harpist in New York City, and I honestly have no desire.
Oh, okay.
No desire. To try and be a harpist and move a harp around New York City. No, I'm good.
Well, you don't have to do that now because it's all closed. So
it's true.
Everything is kind of like
closed.
Everything is kind of sad right now.
I grew up in Los Angeles originally, and then I did my undergrad in upstate New York in Rochester. So I've lived, both sides of the country, and I really think Chicago is like the perfect happy medium for me. It's a big city. I mean, it's a very big city. It's got a huge art scene. But it's not quite so crowded as New York. It's still pretty easy to drive downtown. It's you can own a car in the city, and it's not a huge hassle. But yeah, I just really like it.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like the guitarist I'm talking to right now that's moving, he's like, yeah, Chicago, it's lived its life, and I need to be in a bigger city. I was like, okay. I was like, so some people like living in like small city life, and some people just want like more, I guess, hustle and bustle. Like, I like both. I could totally live somewhere in the woods upstate and have like a beautiful little country house type thing, and then be in the city for like business and stuff like that. I could totally live both lives, like, and be happy, because I like the zen of it all. So for me, being a yoga instructor is like, I try to find a little zen in the city, like serene in the city. So I used to have streams like that where I would stream sunrises while doing meditation and sound healing. So I used to do those too. So like, and I would put music in the background, like zen music and things like that. So like there's an in between, a medium, right? So Chicago is like a smaller New York City.
Basically, yeah. I mean, it's still a very big city.
That's your. I thought that sounded like a child. Your cat sounds like a child.
I know. She's my baby. Come here.
Sounds like a baby.
I mean, like we've got the downtown, we've got the skyscrapers, we've got it's just on a slightly smaller scale than New York, and it's just not quite so tight.
Yeah, it's changed a lot now with COVID. It's kind of scary how everyone that wasn't born here is a native New Yorker. Like me, I was born and raised here, so that's all I know. Mm-hmm. But everyone that like came here for school, or for like to come to the university here or whatever, they just left because they were like scared.
Yeah.
And they ended up going to wherever their parents or wherever they came from. And it's like now the city's not as crowded, and it's kind of great. Like it's kind of, you realize that there's so much beauty everywhere, and you're like, I didn't know that building had a gargoyle and stuff over there and like cool stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, because there's not just a bunch of heads bopping everywhere.
Yeah, you can actually like look around.
Yeah, so it's changed a lot.
Yeah, I'm just grateful with my situation. Nothing other than like losing my work. My husband works full time in IT. He works from home. He's always worked from home, or at least in the last couple of years. So like nothing really affected me. Like I don't know how some of my other music colleagues are making a living when all they do is music and they don't have, a dual income.
Yeah, that's true.
And I got, requests for gigs still. Like a lot of weddings would just like move outdoors, or they were going virtual or whatever. And I just, I was fine,
You're over it.
So I ended up turning all that stuff down because I'm like, other harpists need it more than I do. So
true, yeah.
I turned down most of the pandemic work, and I got so angry. I got a gig request recently for a house party. It was for this month. It was a house party, and the estimated guest attendance was 50 to 99. And I'm like,
my God.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's just a cesspool of like
and
bad.
I'm just like, this was through like a gig service that I advertised with, and just here's all the details, you can accept this gig or decline. And I'm like, that's an instant decline. Like, what are you doing, man?
That's not even legal
and so
here.
I declined the gig, and then he sent me like a response. He's like, oh, I thought it was gonna be like, and there was no mention of any precautions, for this house party that could have 50 to 100 people in it. And so I think he got an email from him, and he's like, I thought it would be like, oh, we're all gonna be wearing masks, or you're gonna be in this.
Just to follow up with something of safety.
Whatever. And no, there was none of that. It was just like, oh, that's too bad. You were my first choice. And I'm just like,
well, you're my last choice to go and get like, some kind of like
pass.
No.
Like I couldn't even respond. I was just, no, I'm not playing any house parties in a pandemic. Like, get out of here, man.
Yeah, that's just nuts.
I thought like maybe it was like, oh, we could do this virtually or whatever. No. Like, pass, please.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
That would get shut down quick here.
This
like,
is why we can't have like normal.
Nice things.
This is why we can't go back to normal. We can't. This is why we can't have concerts. Like, people just need to stop.
Yeah, you guys are killing yourselves. You're ruining it for us.
My husband's a little immunocompromised, and like I can't bring that home to him. And
yeah,
I'm the only one really leaving the house. I do all the shopping, and I'm the only one. I have a part-time job during the week, and so I go to that. It's very part. It's like 10 hours. It's 10 to 15 hours a week. It's
something though.
It's harp related. I go and I play harps, and I am by myself, and I'm rarely interacting with anyone else. I'm not worried about getting COVID from a harp. I work at a harp factory, and I'm their harp tester.
Oh, so
I'll
are you
for
skilled in like
hours.
tuning and repairing and stuff?
I actually am, but for this particular job that I have been doing for a couple years, I've been working for the company since I moved here, in different capacities. But for now, like all the harps, they build harps from scratch, and so they have to have a harpist check them before they either go out to the customer, or if it's a repair, someone to ship their harp in to have something repaired. It has to be checked out by me before it goes to wherever it's going.
Right.
So I have a part-time job where I go play harps for a few hours.
You're the inspector.
I am the inspector, and I work with the technicians to kind of get the harps in the best shape as they can get before they go out. But yeah, one of the things that brought me to Chicago, I graduated with my undergrad in a year. It is a specific year that I will not say. And I was looking at grad school programs, but I was also looking at this apprenticeship at this Harp Factory here in Chicago. And I ended up going with that and putting off grad school for a year. So I moved here and did a 1-year apprenticeship to become a harp technician, which is like a piano tuner. It's something you have to like train for. It's like a whole other thing. So I am actually a certified harp technician, and I do occasional work on the side for that. I've done some traveling, and there could be some good money in it depending on where you go and how many harps. I went down to Austin, Texas for a few years, and go down for a week and work on a lot of harps. It's good money.
Right.
But I don't really travel for it anymore, so I get some local work here and there. Which is why they needed a harp checker, harp inspector, and so I decided to fill that job.
That sounds like a cool job, though.
But yeah, it's a harp factory is an interesting place to work. Yeah.
So the other question I have was when you, I guess, get the acoustic to be mic'd up, like what do you use to record your harp via mics?
I have a Yeti podcast mic that I've been using primarily. I've tried a few other things, and I actually have another mic that I need to test out this week. That my husband is always buying me buying me new stuff, because trying to mic a harp is very tricky on its own. But now that I'm playing and singing at the same time, like the audio has never been as good as I would like it to be, and it's extremely difficult because either the harp is surprisingly loud, and so it can easily drown out my voice. So it's a balancing act. So we're still experimenting. But yeah, I've got a Yeti podcast mic that sounds pretty great actually. But we're still pursuing other options as we get deeper into this Twitch streamer. Like,
Do they have like specific mics made for harps?
not that I know of.
No.
No. So.
Interesting.
But every time I've ever been at a gig for whatever, if it was either like a musical and they were miking all the musicians in the pit or anything, the miking a harp has always been like really tricky.
Huh. 'Cause I think I've seen one where they taped. I don't know if it's like a lapel mic. They do like a little black tape on the mic and they put it like on the base where I guess the hollow section of it. And
Yeah.
I think that
I actually have a pickup on my harp, which I don't use. So I've got, it's just like a little thing the inside of the soundboard, little pickup. And then the wire goes all the way down. It's got a 1/4-inch jack on the base, but I don't use it. It's just like something my dad put in when I was in high school for outdoor weddings. It's not optimal by any means. But yeah, so I've been using the external mic. I even tried a lapel mic for my voice, but it was picking up. We were getting like some weird echoes and stuff. So
interesting.
We have some audio challenges that we're dealing with, but you know, we're making do with what we have for now.
Well, it's definitely a learning experience, that's for sure.
Yeah, and me and technology, you know, do not mix very well. So thank God my husband knows about all this stuff.
Does he make his debut on stream sometimes?
Oh yeah, we've done some charity streams together. He's a beautiful singer. Yeah, so we've done some stuff together. I would like to do some actual like recording with him at some point. And he can do silly voices too. He does a pretty good Kermit, Rainbow Connection, and he pulls out his Kermit impression.
I love when people do. The first podcast we had was a guitarist, and he has a redemption on his channel to do stuff in Kermit voice. And I had him do a Kermit the Frog voice saying, "You're watching YenYorkCity live on Twitch," and then he did it in the Kermit voice, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Because I love Kermit the Frog. I love when people could do a really solid Kermit the Frog.
That's funny.
That has to be an alert or something in your stream, like tell
His
him
voice.
tell him
I'm
to
trying
make
to get a
Kermit
emote. I mean, most of the time he's working when I'm streaming, so he's rarely available except for like the odd like charity stream or something on Saturdays. That's the only day he's really available. But yeah, I've actually used him as a donation incentive for Catter Day. We have to raise a certain amount of money, and then if we do that, I'll bring him on and we'll do a bunch of songs together.
Nice.
That would be great.
You know, we did stuff from Spam a lot and Les Mis. We've done some originals. Yeah, we have a variety of songs that we do together.
Does he also stream?
Is he what?
Does he also stream?
He does not. He has talked about it. He's a computer. He's a web developer and programmer, and he has talked about doing a programming, like teaching people how to code type.
Oh, that'd be
stream.
cool.
But you know, he just doesn't have time.
Yeah, that's a really
full-time job.
That is a tough job.
Yeah, it's he just doesn't have time. He would love to, and he would have so much fun doing it. But
that's a great job to have now, especially with COVID. It's like you guys are fine. You guys are like chilling because there's so much work now for that.
Yeah,
we're so lucky, and you know, most people are not voluntarily changing jobs during this. He actually switched companies and got a better job in the middle of a pandemic. Like in no other area of work can you do that. So yeah, his skills are highly valued, and he can pretty much work wherever he wants, and we're extremely fortunate that he's able to work.
So maybe he'll make an appearance one day. You guys remember, she has an incentive for it, so you just got to go to her channel if you ever want to see.
Whenever we do a charity stream or something, he's my special event. He doesn't come on very often. But...
Oh, I love that. I love couples that do things together like that. That make music. Hey, if you make music together, you'll stay together. That's what I was. I've had a lot of partners that were musicians, and it was always that thing, that connected us. So it's beautiful. Spooks Tooth says, Are you from Texas too, Spooks? Or I don't know, hometown? Cool to know that you have performed there. Did you enjoy the visit? Oh, he's talking about Cinder Park. That's
Cedar Park.
Is that in Texas? I don't know. Like, I don't know if that was the venue she was talking about, or is that a part of Texas?
Austin.
I mean, I did some temporary work traveling to Austin years ago.
Oh, okay, the venue. Okay.
No, I was usually working at the university there. UT Austin is usually where I was. So, no, I didn't. You know, that's the thing about business trips. You know, don't do a bunch of stuff. You know, when you're working like, you know, I think the longest day I worked was like a 14-hour day or something like that. You know, you don't go out like afterwards. You just go and collapse on a bed because then you have to do it the next day. So yeah, I never got to like really do much while I was in Austin, but it's a cool town from what little I was able to do.
So I think I want to hear that coffee song, that original song that you were, that it's for love, right? You wrote it and it was for your husband.
Yeah.
Speaking of husbands.
Yeah, my sweet dear husband. We've been married for over 4 years now. All right, let me surgically remove the kitty that's been on my lap
you're
this
still
whole
in
time. She's been very happy. She's been good.
So yeah, so she wrote this song for her honey, for her husband.
This is well, I wrote it for the monthly creative challenge. The theme was coffee last month, so I'm like, all right, I gotta write a song about coffee.
Coffee is amazing.
And I had, you know, the writing process is strange. This is not the song I initially set out to write. I ended up writing almost like 2 complete songs and then scrapping them because I wasn't happy with them. And then I wrote this like kind of in like a day. So you never know what you're gonna get. And like with the campfire song that I wrote this month, it's only the 8th, and I'm done. The song is done.
Boom.
You know, where a lot of these I'm like,
she's getting it
all
done,
right,
guys.
I gotta get this done by the end of the month. And this one just came together.
It just came.
But yeah, the coffee song took a creative journey to get to it. And I do enjoy my coffee. And I wanted to bring my husband into it, even though he doesn't like coffee. But you know,
That's crazy. Like what?
It's more for me. Yeah, that's fine.
More for you then.
We make it work. This one's called Coffee and You.
Oh, okay. Okay, live here in York City. Windy Harper.
My favorite thing about waking up is my morning cup with you by my side. I'll grind the beans, you can put the water on, you can even use my favorite mug. I know today's gonna be a good day because it starts with you. What would I do without coffee and you? I'd never get out of bed. I can smell that coffee brew. Have I said today that I love you? The smell intoxicates. I love our coffee dates. They are what get me through. I know today's gonna be a good day because it starts with you. What's coffee without cream or tea without you? I don't want to know. Yeah, even though he doesn't drink coffee, the sentiment is there. I'm just so lucky to have my husband at all. So,
especially now, it's like just being because you're confined into with the person that you're living with now, so you're just like always around each other now. It's like the test of time. Like, can you stand each other all the time?
And it doesn't feel any different. Like, it really feels no different. Being from when we were dating to when we were married to being stuck together in the pandemic, it really hasn't.
It's a time to live. Different. It's a time to be alive and experience this.
But yeah, we appreciate each other every day. So the sentiment in the song is true, even though I do not like cream in my coffee. I drink it black, and my husband does not like coffee at all. So other than those things, everything, the sentiment is definitely there.
I love awesome. It. And I can't wait for you guys to do something together too, because I know that's going to be magical. I can feel it, because I feel the love, guys, and it's the week of love. It's the week of love, and we have this beautiful harpist, Windy Harper. If you guys are just tuning in, please give her a follow. Go check her out. Go check her YouTube. She has original music, and she has a collab this Saturday on her channel at noon. So go check her out. It's with a violinist. So it's a lot of beautiful stuff going on and on her channel. And also, what was the other? I know there's. Oh, thank you, Ray Musica. Thank you for the stuff. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So much love. Yeah, it's been so nice having you, Windy. It's been a pleasure, and having you here, and just like, I mean, you made me cry. All right, that's all I gotta say, because you're the beauty of that harp. I felt it in my soul. And it's totally it's one of those instruments that I don't know anyone who wouldn't enjoy having some harp music in their life. It's just so beautiful. But the last question, and if you guys are in chat, you have a couple more minutes to put in any questions you would like to ask the lovely Windy Harper. And then we're gonna close out with, I don't know, maybe a Zelda song. I really want
sure.
Like some Zelda in there.
What do you guys want to hear? Something upbeat to end, or
is it the lullaby that I like? I like the lullaby.
We could do Zelda's lullaby for sure. That's a perfect ender.
That one's my perfect like Zelda song, I think. So the last question I ask everyone is 12 songs to the soundtrack of your life. So it basically consists of 12 songs that you feel are your life. Like, it can be 2 songs that remind you of your childhood, 2 songs remind you of your youth or your days in high school, college, the song you picked for your wedding, dance, it could be anything. So, but it's usually very hard or very easy. Sometimes people just go through it really quick and they're like, oh, I know this song. But sometimes, like last night, we had Ray Van Dal, and he just spontaneously he didn't want to write it down. He wanted it to be like authentic and just like come out with whatever came out. So I don't know. Everyone's different. So I want you to tell us what consists of Windy Harper's soundtrack to her life.
Oh my gosh, 12 songs. If we're going life, you start at the beginning. I was listening to, I was raised on classical music, but also classic rock. So I'd probably put some, maybe Mozart, Symphony Number 40. Yes. Everyone's heard it at some point. Also probably throw in some I listened to a lot of Pink Floyd growing up.
Oh, me too. Yes, that's
Dark Side of the Moon.
Best album ever.
Wish You Were Here is one of my favorites. Oh my gosh, this is actually gonna be really hard.
Well, you got 2 right off the bat, so those 2 were
10 more. So that's and up to high school is probably something real angsty.
Yes, angsty.
I remember listening to some Incubus when I was in high school.
Incubus. Oh yeah, there's a lot of Incubus fans in the community.
Oh my gosh, what else? Jimmy Eat World. Let's see, going into college. So that's like that's before. Oh my God, there's still so many songs. I said classical's always been like a big part of my life. So we just keep going back and forth. I love La Mer. Debussy's La Mer is, a tower and monumental masterpiece that I can listen to over and over again. What else? It's so weird to have the
contrast,
juxtaposition, like Pink Floyd and Debussy.
No, but I love that. That's what's so awesome about this question, because you really see the colors of your life inside of all the songs.
I took 2 Shostakovich. No, was it 2 or 3? I took a bunch of Shostakovich courses in college. Dmitri Shostakovich, he's a Soviet composer under Lenin. His Fifth Symphony is incredible. Think what else? Grandini's Rhapsody. It's actually a harp solo. That was a huge piece for me that I performed on a couple recitals for my undergrad and my master's. Tournier's Sonatine, which you can hear. I have one movement of it on my song list, and I owe my community a formal recital from a September goal that we have, and I will perform. I have to get this ready. The first half will consist of Tournier's Sonatine. It's a gorgeous French piece. And I've lost count at that point, so I'll just keep going. I don't know how many songs we have.
I think we're at like 9.
9, so I'm in like 3 more. And then okay, so I met my husband, 6 years ago or something. And we met in an Argentine tango class.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
So, yeah, of all like just
I love that. That's like the perfect way
random.
to find your husband, I think. That would be the perfect, like, I don't know. Like,
Can
I have this dance?
We started dating a month after we met, and then we were married a year later. We're just like, you just know.
Music.
He says like he knew within like the weeks that before we went officially dating, he says he knew that I was the one.
That's how you know. My dad said the same thing. My dad said the moment he saw my mom, he was like, he knew that was gonna be the woman that he was gonna have like babies with, and he fell in love. It was love at first sight. So sometimes it just happens like that.
Yeah, my husband is very, very pretty, and he's a gorgeous dancer. And so I met him, and I'm like, I had to go like Facebook stalk him after class to make sure he wasn't gay. He's not.
Aww. I love that story. I love that you met in tango class.
Yeah, we met in tango class, and then started dating pretty soon after, and then we were married a year after we started dating. So we weren't moving fast for any particular reason. We just like, why drag it out? Let's just we both knew.
Thing. It's like if you know, you know.
Let's just do the thing. So our first, and we danced a lot. He was a semi-professional, like he was an assistant teacher in the class. He's very, very accomplished. And we would social dance a lot. I got him into like some swing dance too. So we used to dance together a lot. But our wedding song for our first dance, I put him in charge of picking a song, and it just took him forever. Most couples, they will go to a dance studio for so many sessions. Like they don't come from a dance background, and they take lessons and they learn a choreographed wedding dance. I didn't know what we were going to do until we were doing it. I didn't know what song he had picked. We didn't rehearse anything, and we freestyled our wedding dance. And I wish I had a full video of it. I just have photos. But it was so much fun. So there's I forget the name of the song. I'll have to look it up. But it's basically based what the Looney Tunes theme is based on. Dun 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 dun. That is a it's called Milonga, but it's a tango song.
That's crazy.
And that is we danced to that, but with like one of the old timey like Argentine tango bands, and with the lyrics. There are lyrics to that song too.
I love that.
So that was our wedding dance. The Looney Tunes song, essentially. And then the song we walked down, after we were married, the song our recessional, that's the word I'm looking for, our recessional, was La Vie en Rose. And I chose the music for that, and I think that is just a gorgeous. If I thought I could sing in French in any convincing way or respectful way, I cannot pronounce French to save my life. But I would sing that song. I would put that. It is on my song list as a instrumental only. But my gosh, if I could sing French, I would sing that song all the time.
That's beautiful. That's an amazing list right there.
Yeah,
that list is a solid list. You gotta send me that list on my Discord, like DM me the list, because I'm making.
I can even remember it. I'll
I know.
Just go through the VOD.
Yeah, that's the thing, because like I'm doing that for everyone. Yeah.
I don't know if I have one more or not.
Oh, if you do, put it in there.
All right.
So guys, I gave you time, and Ray Musica says that his grandparents met in a dance studio too. See, and are they still together? I mean, I feel like that's just like one of those stories that you're like, how did our grandparents meet? And there's like, oh, our grandparents met, in a tango. Like, damn, that's hot. That sounds great.
That was done.
Oh, that was done. That was done. Oh, I see, because you guys both have the blue colors.
Names.
Yeah. I haven't eaten anything all day. Yeah, so.
And I did see that Dun asked if I've ever performed in Virginia, and the answer is no. I've never been to Virginia. But I've met so many amazing people on Twitch that I would like to meet in real life, and one of those people lives in Virginia. So hopefully, when we can start traveling again, we're gonna have our own little like mini Twitch cons, and I'll be definitely making a stop in Virginia.
I know when they start doing TwitchCon again, that's just gonna be extra big because of the amount of people that want to see each other.
Although I don't know, depending on like when that is, people still might be like afraid to go into big situations like that. I feel like we need to take baby steps. I've talked with a couple other people, and we were like, we should just make a mini TwitchCon in the Midwest and just have it in Chicago. We got people from Minneapolis, we've got some people from Wisconsin and Indiana. I'm like, we should just have like a safe mini convention. Like,
there you go.
That there's so many amazing performers just in this like region. Let alone like a TwitchCon where you got people coming in from all over the world. Like just in the United States Midwest, there's a lot of in every region. There's incredibly talented people, and we need to hang out and make music together.
Yeah, plus there's the collabs right now. That's where it's at. So you guys, if you need a beautiful, lovely harpist, boom! I just introduced you to one here on YenYorkCity Live. So don't ever say I didn't introduce you to a harpist, because this is the first harpist we've ever had. And it was such an amazing experience to have such a beautiful instrument and just have her serenade, and give us that loving vibe. Because this week, is Valentine's Day, guys. Valentine's Day is on Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday. Mm-hmm.
Well, it could be Valentine's every day, guys, because we got to spread the love. We got to be there, Come from the heart, be pure of heart. That's my favorite thing, is people that have pure hearts. And I think, Windy, you have a really beautiful, pure heart. And I love that you're here with us and you got to spend the time and space. And thank you so much for giving us the time and space and showing us how beautiful that instrument is. And it's 20 grand, guys, for, sets you back. 20 grand. If you're thinking, think again, because you're setting yourself back 20 grand for that amazing, beautiful piece right there.
Unless you want to finance it like a car, then you should be all
Finance
right.
it like a car,
Yeah.
People do it all the time.
Put the insurance on there.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'm so glad we could do this kind of like in-depth and just kind of play it by ear and just see where everything goes.
Yeah, we just go with the flow here, and we have a good time. We just chat. It's like having a friendly chat with friends that we all love music, and we all come together through music. And then you never know who's watching, who wants to actually have a collaboration. Somebody, could be watching the VOD and be like, "Hey, I did not know that there was a harpist." Like, because it's not a many harpists, right? On Twitch, really.
There's a few. There's probably more than you would think. But yeah, we all do different things. That's the thing.
Yeah, everybody has a different vibe, you know.
We're all doing different. We're all focusing on like different things. So it's really nice. But yeah, there's a few harpists on Twitch. There's There's 3 partnered harpists on Twitch now.
Wow, and you're gonna be the next one because we're gonna go over there, love up on Windy, okay? And give her some subs.
Yeah, I would love that.
Give her some subs, okay? Go over there and enjoy, cause I mean that harp though, right? That harp. And on Saturday, she's gonna have a collab with a violinist, so that's gonna be noon Eastern time. So make sure to give her a follow. Also her YouTube, we want to get her to 1,000. So go smash that like button to her videos and
Smash all the buttons
and go follow her because she's lovely. And also her next stream is on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and it's a certain type of stream, right? On Wednesday is a different stream.
Yeah, it's working Wednesday. I try to record some content for YouTube and practice stuff, but I'll take requests for like if people sub or raid or whatever. So we play it a little bit by ear, but for the most part it's request closed, and I try to get some work done while chat trolls me. So it's fine.
No trolling, no trolling, Wendy.
I actually, even if it's less productive, I like trying to record stuff live with chat because it just keeps you in like a better mood. Whereas like if I'm having trouble getting a good take of something and I'm just by myself and there's no one to like make me feel better, I don't enjoy recording, and it's not as productive, but it's way more fun when you have people doing it with you.
It is. Plus you get insight on what people think, and like maybe they give you little like flashes of ideas that might work, that's the whole part of like instant chat. You have the interaction with your chat, so it's even better than being live because you can't really interact with the musician like the way you can on Twitch. So that's the beauty of it. It's awesome.
Yeah, chat keeps my mood up. So
yeah, it really does.
I keep them around.
So guys, she's gonna close out with one of my favorite songs that she plays on her stream. Every time she plays it, my heart just goes, it just grows. And if you could see my heart, it probably has like all these like beams of light and like hearts floating everywhere because it's my favorite. And it's the Zelda Lullaby, and I love that one. That one's so beautiful. So stay for that, and stay for the raid, guys. We're gonna go find somebody to raid. So stick around for that. And Windy, thank you so much. Beautiful,
My pleasure.
lovely. It was amazing.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for giving us this time with you. And I hope to see you on your next stream, which is on Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern time, and also Friday at noon, right?
Yep. And I'll see you guys around Twitch as well.
Yes.
Nice. And don't sign off yet. After we go to the unseen, we're gonna chat a little bit right afterwards. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
Thank you.
All right,
All right,
perfect.
I'll leave you guys with Zelda's Lullaby.
Yes. That was so beautiful, Windy. I love that. That was perfection.
Oh, thank you so much.
So guys, remember to give Windy a follow, and we're gonna go. Let me see. So Wednesday, 2 p.m. is the next stream. You can find her. And I'm really excited for that that Saturday stream.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
What? Yeah.
You want me to type it?
Yeah, if you know which one I'm.
Yeah, I see it. Hold on.
So yeah, so Saturday is gonna be fun. I can't wait for the collab, and it's with
Funk Fiddler.
Funk Fiddler. I gotta write that down because I gotta give that name just says it all right there.
Yeah,
Funk.
all the PHs will kind of mess you up though. Yeah. FunkPhiddler. Funk Fiddler.
All right, I'm ready when you are.
All right, guys. So remember, Saturday she has a collab with that violinist Funk Fiddler, and we're gonna go raid right now somebody else that's really awesome that also plays violin. So let's go and give some love, spam some love in the chat, and I'll see you on the next stream. And the next podcast is not gonna be next week; it's gonna be the next week after that. Okay, guys. And it's gonna be with Tito Nitro drums. Okay. So I hope you have an amazing week, and remember, love one another, be good to one another, and celebrate love every day. It doesn't have to just be on the week of love or Valentine's Day. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next stream. What did I do?